A bit of a good news, bad news thing here, guys. A new study just published in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests a possible alternative to mifepristone, which is, of course, currently being targeted by a lot of legal battles from certain people with certain interests. You got it. So the good news is obviously potential alternative, additional methods. That's great. We love that. The bad news is that it's also the key ingredient in emergency contraceptives. Specifically Ella, which does require a prescription as opposed to the other two. The full article is in the New York Times, authors listed below. You can go read it in full, but obviously they bring up the potential political issues with this, as opponents have come after emergency contraception before and continue to do so, and this is just gonna bolster some of their arguments. And the main arguments that have kind of protected us from their efforts is the fact that they do not terminate, but rather prevent. So demonstrating that the active ingredient in some of these options could in fact terminate rather than prevent. It's just tricky. And to be clear, it still does prevent. Just like caffeine wakes you up, but it also treats migraines. It does both things in different situations, okay? They are going to use this. In fact, they've already indicated as much. Another interesting thing in the article that I was not aware of is that in Europe, some researchers are also trying to test Mife as potentially a weekly, contraceptive. And at least one doctor has gone on record for this article saying that this study is sufficient to prescribe Ella off-label for termination. There's obviously just one physician's opinion. That's not necessarily a practice or anything like that just yet. While looking at multiple options is good, and I'm obviously very supportive of having more options available, and I think in better times, if this research were in fact successful, I think it would help to ensure access to mifepristone in countries like the US. Obviously, we are not in better times right now, so it could have the opposite effect. Anyway, good news, bad news. Like I said, that's the situation.